The LD4 series, the Leadership Development Series, was brought together by a grant that we got through MNREM. SMAFE is an organization of food and ethanol industry in rural Minnesota, where we come together and collaborate on efforts for training and leadership development within our industries. And I got involved. I'm actually a member through my company, Minnesota Energy, a member of SMAFE, and I was able to work from the beginning with Sarah on what the series was going to look like and what the industry wanted to see.
It was an industry-led program. All of the members of SMAFE are actually industry companies, whether that's food manufacturing or ethanol manufacturing. And so they came to the table and really developed kind of the formula of what they wanted the program to look like. And then Ideation Consulting, which is my firm, took that information and developed that curriculum as a customized program to meet the requirements of the group. The group identified leadership development as the #1 training need. When we came together, SMAFE originally was designed to talk about what are our training needs and how can we collaborate and find some synergies within that and some cost savings, frankly, to provide those training opportunities. And there were some things that came up with, boiler operators and different technical pieces, but unanimously the #1 priority was leadership development. So this is truly an industry-driven project where the company said, before we do anything else, this is what we want to tackle.
The leadership training that we're trying to provide for our leaders is to become coaches. In this area, southwestern Minnesota, the background is primarily agriculture, and people learned through the growth on farms. And they just did. And coming into a work environment and partnering and collaboration is not necessarily something that comes natural. The operational, the technical side of positions usually are easier to train to because you have a Bible of things to do. But on the soft skills side, where you have leadership, some people have never had the opportunity to really experience that. So we're trying to help them develop their own skills.
Take a look at what the employee thinks of management, or take a look at what kind of a work environment do you create for your employees? What kind of a role model do you set for your employees? I think that's the piece that always needs to be cutting edge, and you need to always be looking for something better or looking for a way that you can either leg up on the competition and or make yourself a better management team to take over and take care of your people.
The managerial leadership was, to me, probably the most beneficial. Just as far as just how to make decisions and how to go to people and lead them. I guess that's the most important thing to me.
This program it's really set to kind of explore your beliefs as a leader and explore your beliefs as a manager. We've all been to trainings throughout our careers, and what worked 10 years ago no longer works. Whether you were in an authoritative culture where the boss's way is the only way, or if you're in a more of a kind of a regulated culture, a standardized culture where it was about rules and policies, this is a different approach. And this is an approach where it's about the employees. It's about individualism, learning what each person brings, learning the gifts that they bring, learning what their potential is, what their value is, and then capitalizing on that.
It's affected the working with my employees just by the way I handle them every day, the way I go to them and I say, okay, this is what I want you to do, point A to point B. How you get there is up to you. I allow them to be creative now. I didn't do that before. I am just so much more pleased with the way things are going now. They have the freedom to move around and do the things they need to do, and without me micromanaging them. That's the main thing. I've gained so much more time now as far as managing the operations versus managing tiny little details. They take care of that, and I trust them to do that.
I think the biggest benefit for all participants in this LD4 series, this leadership development, is the sense that things can change and they're not as difficult to change as you think they are. It's just a matter of realizing what everybody's potential is and utilizing the potentials rather than trying to change what will never be able to be changed. trying to change a personality that's ingrained in a person is going to be impossible, and it will be a battle all the way. But if you start looking at what their potential is and work on building their potentials, you're going to have a lot more success.
But I think it's a great time to start a discussion about who is renewable energy, what do they want to be, what impact do they want to have, what type of employer do they want to be, and I think that the LD4 series has started that dialogue.
You know, I'm going to cut to the chase. What I learned about this process is, you know, leadership as you train with professional people probably comes from a little different bag of tricks than what you're traditionally used to coming up through the ranks of what you did before and what you do as you move forward. And from a professional basis, you know, some of the things that you might have had in cobweb storage or in an area that you didn't really have in front of you might be brought to the forefront, you know, and I think it's a good learning experience.